Hey, Cancer, welcome into your reading. Thanks for joining me at Steampunk Psyche. We are going to be taking a look at your past, present, future, and we're going to pull some cauldron cards at the end there to try to help pull out and clarify what's taking place. I believe this is going to be for the month of October, so we're just going to see what's in your energy and what's taking place. So let me shuffle these cards and I'll get my beautiful mug out of the place where you can see what's up. I'm going to cover up the cards just a little bit. That way I don't have to squeeze down. If you don't know who I am, I do have a video describing that. And I also have a video talking about how I do the tarot cards here and the explanation cards. So you can check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description box. Okay, looks like we are King of Pentacles in a reverse position. So there is a dominant energy here taking place. Perhaps over some kind of relationship. That could be relationship with money, but it could also be relationship with a partner. It is in a feminine position, the Lover's card. The little furry bear lovers there. Let me pull a couple more here and just see what we got. Now, this is in the recent past. So, sometime in the recent past, and we will take a look at the King of Pentacles in the reverse position too, and see why that has showed up. Okay, so there was an impulsiveness, a control and manipulation. So maybe, maybe something took place in the recent past. Perhaps, you got the Four of Swords there. You're pondering something about a relationship, perhaps. This may not apply to everybody. Like I said, the Pentacles also represents health, wealth, and stability. So, stabilized in a stabilized position, in the upright position, it could talk about a relationship towards your finances. But we are seeing it in the dominant the masculine position here, the action or the active position here. So it's got me believing that something took place in the past with some type of relationship, some hurdles to overcome. And the reason I say hurdles because of the mountain here in the middle here, but the main reason is because the Four of Swords. Okay, so the Four of Swords is contemplation, right? It's I have some issues, or I've got some not issues, as in your mental. However, don't suffer from mental illness. Enjoy it's what I say. But say you've got some emotional wounds that you have that you've taken care of, and perhaps the next sword could be your finances, or some accomplishments, right? But you are really weighed down heavy with this sword that you're laying upon, meaning that you're laying upon something really heavy. So this fourth card is going to talk about what's grounded, what your stability, what you're stabilized in, what your boundaries are, what you've rooted yourself in the past there. So we'll find out what that is. And it looks like the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups in the upright position, obviously, right? It's a kind of a gray sky. We've got some cups that were tipped over there, as you can see. And I think you can see. Let me get myself out of the way here. Yeah. So, yeah, but we've got the Five of Cups in a reverse. And normally, like I said, it's kind of like this bleak kind of outlook on things, like things are moving slow, stagnant. But also it could talk about that, it's kind of like this state of mind where you're super contemplation. You're not, it's weighing heavy upon you. You've got some cups that are behind you still, right? But you know that whatever lies ahead is not going to be easy. So it's really kind of a challenging card. But we do got the Five of Cups now in the reversed position. So we'll look at that. And like I said, the reason this takes a little bit is because I'm trying to share these with you also, okay? These explanation cards, especially with the reverse position, because sometimes, if you figure there's 78 cards in the deck, that's just the upright position explanations, and then 78 in the reverse. So there really are a lot of different things we could pull out of these cards. But this talks about a perspective, perhaps an emotional recovery, right? And we saw that, hope, release, growth. We saw that, in your contemplation with the, the Four of Swords. and we kind of feel like you're moving forward from a tyrannous, or had moved forward from some kind of a rough relationship status, right? And you're like, yeah, I know this, man. So now, what about the present? So what are we asking, Cancer? What? Okay. So it looks like in the present moment, we've got the King of Swords, okay? And the King of Swords talks about also that same kind of type of energy, and the King of Wands. It's gotten worse. Cancer, um, okay. What are we involved in here? This may only apply to a few specific people, but trust me, there is always something to learn in these cards, and perhaps if anybody else is facing something like this, stick around and we'll try to figure out what it is. But this really feels a little specific because both the King of Swords and the King of Wands showed up. So we're talking about some serious fighting and arguing, and you know, and I kind of feel like this is a mutual scenario here where one is getting pointed the blame, and it's the divine masculine, or the active masculine position. Now, before we go any further, these energies apply to both male and female. We both have a balance of both, and we know this, right? But this appears to be this active masculine position is just at wits with each other. And I'm going to show you. We're going to take a look at the King of Swords in the reverse position too. So again, we see manipulation, tyranny. We could be talking about a serious corrupt situation going on, a control. This could possibly talk about narcissistic abuses. This could be physical. This could be, and I don't like to talk that way, but we're aware of those things. So, but it appears to be very harsh, right? A very cruel environment. So we've also got the King of Wands in the reverse, and we'll take a look at that one as well. Manipulation. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Let's try that again, shall we? Give me just a second. I'll get it right, I promise. Like I said, I've got 78 keys, and I've got little cheat sheet cards over here I'm trying to look at. Wands. Let's try this one. King of Wands, right? Same thing. Same exact thing. Control, manipulation, intolerance, ego. We're talking ego clashes. I apologize for that taking so long. Like I said, these cards are tough. I'm trying to make it easier, but it takes a little time. So just bear with me. But we'll try to figure out what's going on here. Okay. So we've got ego clashes going on. We've got you did this, you did that. He said, she said. We, they. It doesn't matter. Relationships that are just in this chaotic state. And it appears, though, that it's seeking judgment, okay? Gabriel's blowing the horn, with a judgment card. And it's saying it's time to rise up, spiritually speaking. It's time to come to your awakening. It's time to come to your knowing about this. Whoever this is for, it could not get any clearer that this fell in the manifested position, this third position, okay? So either way, whether it's he did it or she did it, it doesn't matter. It's time to wake up. One of you or both of you both need to wake up. This is gone too far. So now we're in a balance again, and this situation's got somebody looking out, right? With the Two of Wands. Two of Wands says I'm stabilized, and or at least I am prepared to be stabilized in this position, because I don't feel like either one of these energies are stable. I'm not calling anybody out saying it's your fault, but when both kings fall in the same position, we're talking either there is a super masculine energy that is just so domineering, and that's possible, don't get me wrong, but it could also mean that there is a single female or a single feminine position, because the King of Wands fell in the feminine position, who is either taking the terrible end of this ordeal, or is also the manipulator in this case. So, but I feel like it's more of like I said, a masculine, because of this King of Pentacles in the very first original lay here. So, like I said, I'm not trying to judge anybody, you know, on anything, but I'm just trying to say that's what that feels like. So the Two of Wands says, I'm looking out, and I'm prepared to, with this hand on the wand, and he sets it up on top of the arch right there. It's like, you know, I've stabilized in my idea. You know, the wands are a fire sign. It's like when I make a decision, it's set, okay? And it's fastened, meaning it's fastened to this wall, but it's fastened in your heart that I have to look out for myself. I have to move forward. I have to go on. Okay, now in the third position over here, the third turn, we're going to talk about this is also manifested. These are ideas that you're manifesting. This is relationships that you're manifesting. This is everything from your health to your wealth, you know, your stabilizing positions. So I'm going to turn these and see how they fall. We've got the Five of Pentacles in the reverse position, and we'll talk about that too. In the upright, it's got that kind of an energy that, you know, you're afraid to ask for help. You know, you got the two beggars here that are, you know, kind of walking away from this church scenario, and they know all they got to do is go inside, but they're kind of like in this stubborn, you know, frame of mind. It says, you know, I just, you know, I don't need anybody's help. Or this could also be an energy like too afraid to ask, you know, for help, maybe ashamed, maybe, you know, so it brings up a lot of energies. Okay, but we saw that in the reverse, so now we're going to look at it in the upright. So let's go with this card and see if it dropped. All right. So, I mean, this is a little bit better energy, recovery, hope, improvement. And we saw that with the Two of Wands. You know, it's like you made a pact with yourself. You made an agreement. You know, you kind of like manifested this I'm going to rebuild, right? I'm going to change. Something's going to be different come hell or high water. Okay? Regardless of whether or not it's reciprocated, you know, because we do see the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position here, okay? And the Three of Pentacles in the upright position talks about kind of an exchange of ideas, okay? And, you know, that this guy's standing on the soapbox and he's sharing ideas with others. So it also talks about reciprocation and sharing ideas and things like that. So the Three of Pentacles in the reversed, we're going to look at that now. If I can find the key. Here we go. Yeah. So there's a disharmony, right? Isolation, ego. We saw that earlier. And if we were to say, okay, well, I'm manifesting disharmony, am I really manifesting that? Am I really, if that's the manifest side, right? Am I really trying to stay isolated? Am I really trying to, you know, stay frustrated or imbalanced? But look at the difference in the cards. So there's disconnection that's taking place, right? In your idea, in your mind, in your head. But ego clashes, we know we saw that with the two, you know, kings in the reverse. So a misalignment and a disharmony. So, you know, whether or not you say I'm not manifesting this also has to do a lot with your energies. You know, maybe your energies have carried over, and apparently it did. The King of Swords and the King of Wands are the most two chaotic cards in the reverse position besides the Emperor. If the Emperor was in here, I'd know this is detrimental, right? This is you have to move no matter what. Okay, but what this is saying is that you're not getting any support by this. You're definitely not getting a support from the masculine side. Or if this is the reverse role, like I said, you're not getting any help out of this feminine side. They're not budging. They're not moving out of this. You're wrong, and that's just the way it is. So I hate to see this situation, but I think we're gonna get some kind of a clue right here with the Seven of Cups. Okay. And we're going to take a look at the Seven of Cups in the reversed position as well. Clarity. Yep. The Two of Wands spoke about that earlier, you know. I feel like maybe somebody has made a commitment. This is a done deal. You're eliminating. See, you know, we got elimination down here. You're aware of what's taking place, and you're making yourself a prioritization or your priority to yourself. So it's a decision, right? You're making a decision. Okay, but the problem is this decision's it's hinged on something, okay? Because we see the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is looking out, and it's like, you know, you saw we saw your energy stabilized in the two in the fourth position over here, right? With the Two of Wands saying I'm looking out, and I've made an emotional decision. This is taking place. But here we got the grounded position again. What you're stabilizing in is a little bit, I'm unsure. I don't know. Can I do this without this person? These cards like this, they kind of like roll from one to the next. And it's energy wise. It's, here's the beginning of it. And then it's manifesting a little bit taller like this, or a little bit larger in its energy. So, however, we got the Three of Wands in the reverse position. So we're going to look at that as well. Delays. So something's got you delayed. It's held up. Perhaps this could be, if you filed for a divorce, or if you filed for, a contractual agreement, a separation of some type in a business, or whatever it is. I feel like this is more related to a relationship, but there are some limitations with it. There's some obstacles to overcome. Something's gotten in the way here, Cancer. So let's get specific on it and try to figure out what it is that is taking place. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up. What we got over here on the far right is the cauldron card. So let me move my face again out of the way. And we'll shuffle these cauldron cards, and maybe it can help clarify what it is you're trying to say, or what questions you might be asking. So, Cancer, I feel like you need to stick with your guns here. Whoever this is for, I feel like maybe this relationship, yeah, there is some sneaky shit going on, okay? Something behind the back. There is, I'm going to get to the lawyer first. I'm going to get to the attorney first, and somebody's taking the higher ground, right? And this turns into one of those ugly little battles, sometimes, especially in relationships. But it's followed by, the Empress. So the Empress energy is a beautiful, nurturing, patient, kind, gentle energy. But I am not sensing that at all right here. You know what I mean? I'm not sensing that at all. This is this is kind of one of those energies that's like, I've made my mind up. I'm moving. I'm moving out. I'm taking off, hitting the road, whatever. But there is something sneaky about it. Maybe you have to sneak out in the middle of the night, right? And you're wondering, if I do this, is this going to make me look like a schmuck? Is this going to make me, And I feel like you're worrying way too much about that, because this feels a little bit, unnatural to your healthy energy here. So, but we've got the we got the Eight of Cups in the reversed position. Okay, Eight of Cups is normally, it's a walking away. Okay, but there are some more of this Three of Wands energy in that. You're sticking around for some reason. Something, maybe you've got children together. Maybe there's a commitment. Like I said, you got a dog, cat. I don't know why you would stick around just for that, but I mean, hey, love is love, right? But I'm not sure. I'm going to check out the Eight of Cups here in the reversed and see why the Eight of Cups is showing up. Emotional stagnation, indecision. So we know it's already indecision, but there's clinging. There's clinging on. I mean, okay. So you love somebody very much, and you're still hanging on, hoping, right, that they're gonna change, they're gonna do this. Is that your responsibility? I mean, this makes me angry to see this. It's kind of like, if I was your friend, I mean, I would be like picking you up, putting you on my shoulder, if I could still do that. I'm not saying, I'm gonna go there, but I'm just saying that, I would pick you up, walk your ass out the door, and be like, you're done. Come on, this is bad. This is not good. It's not healthy, So I'm not sure what in the hell is going on here with this reading, but we got another card here we'll pull. Maybe it'll help pull it out. Give us an answer here. Are we talking about children involved? Are we talking about, is there abusive, like overindulgence maybe? There's a celebration. Okay, what's the celebration in? Okay, this is you saying, when I do this, when I step into my, Empress, I'm going to celebrate. This is a victory. Okay. I mean, yeah, right. That happens too. No, hey, I wouldn't, just necessarily that day pull out the party supplies. This is going to linger in your energy, right? So it feels like you need to do a little bit of introspection on it. Got the Emperor now. So you've stabilized perhaps in this decision. So I feel like maybe past, present, and future, past, and in the present, that energy followed you. And maybe now we're looking at the future. These cauldron cards may be calling out what this future looks like for you. So we do have an Emperor energy, but it still feels imbalanced, okay? Because we got the Five of Swords. And the fives are, Now it's like this emperor is this emperor's energy, because it was followed by the five of swords. If it was anything other than the five of swords, I could say this emperor's energy is stable. This energy is firm, grounded. He didn't get to become the emperor by being weak. You know what I mean? Weak in the knees or anything. And the emperor had to make lots of choices that you or I probably have never been faced with, when it comes to, you know, his battles and his, keeping his people or his realm or whatever intact. So, however, it's followed by the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is kind of a vindictive energy, okay? It's, what do I got to do to win here? It's that kind of mentality. And so there's an emperor energy saying, I'm going to do this at whatever cost. So I kind of feel like this is a relationship that is, kind of an immature scenario here, and I hate to say it like that. I don't want to put anybody down, but it's like, who the hell wins at that, right? It's like, why are you wasting your time with it? Why would you even want to stick around? It's like not serving you at all. We've got you're manifesting a Knight of Wands, okay? You're manifesting another romance. You're manifesting another, a booty call. I don't know what it is, but it's like the Knight of Wands is this romancer, right? Okay, it's exploration. Somebody here is wanting to check out, and just go explore. And hey, to each his own. I don't care. Excuse me, hold that thought. All right, look. Right? Romance is good. Romance is fun. Romance has exploration. It has every kind of energy it's probably the most highest energy that we could have as a human being. Kundalini awakens, everything. We get it. However, I feel like, again, this King of Wands and King of Swords reversed is just, but you are going to ground yourself in the sun. Okay. Come hell or come high water is what I am getting here. Okay. I'm going to check out this new relationship, whoever this is, for male, for female, for masculine, for feminine. You're done. You're moving on. And hey, kudos, right? Now, you came because you want to know, is it okay, right? So I'm going to do you a solid. I'm going to keep going. We're going to find out. It's your conscious. It's your energy. But I feel like don't leave one to go into another with a mask on, We got the Queen of Swords, so communication coming in definitely. She doesn't play around. The Queen of Swords is like very firm, okay? And however, the Queen of Swords is not necessarily the greatest communicator, okay? It's kind of like quick whip, double-edged sword with the tongue, I'll strike you, if I need to, with whatever race. So there still feels like there's this vindictive, get away from me, maybe this is an ending of a relationship. I didn't really see an ending. It's like, if I'd have seen this Ten of Swords, right? Or if I had seen the Death card, perhaps, even the Devil card showing that you're chained to this, but I haven't seen that yet. But like I said, this just says it's a bunch of verbal BS going back and forth. That's what this is about. I'm going to insult you. You're going to insult me. I'm going to tear you down. You tear me down. You did it first. Here we go. So that's kind of what this feels like, really young and immature. And the thing of it is that shit sucks. It's like it draws your energy out. You come out of that going, I'm so tired. This is made. You carry that crap into your next relationship that just taints it, right? Just destroys it before it even gets off the ground. So I tell you what, we're followed up by the Four of Cups, okay? And the cups are also this offering, a divine offering that's coming in. However, you're paying attention to all of the other crap that's going on. In this case, I don't think you are. I think you just don't care. You know what I mean? And that's kind of funny in a way. It's like, hey, he started it, she started it, whatever that is. Yeah, I don't know here. I'm going to blow my face back up. That way we can talk. We talk turkey. That's what my grandpa used to say. We can talk turkey here. Hey, okay, do it, right? Move on with this new relationship. Move on with this new romance. It's okay. I just feel like, if there are obligations that you have with this person, say you guys went in on a vehicle together or an apartment, you got a lease. That's leaving that other person in a position where it's like, okay, and I know here you go. I can hear your energy going, yeah, but if this is him, he's going, yeah, but yeah, none of that matters, right? Because in the end, both of your credits are going to get screwed. You're right. And maybe you don't care. Maybe that's okay. I mean, whatever. I'm not judging, I promise you. But what I am saying is that there is a way to, wish upon somebody for a decent conversation, and it's not face to face. It's in your heart. You know, there is a way that you can maybe, and if you can't, I mean, we saw the kings both in reverse position, so this feels really chaotic. So maybe you take the hit and say, I'm out of this anyway, and I'm going to go to this new relationship. Okay, fine, but remember that energy can't be, created nor destroyed. It flows, right? And we are receptors. We pick it up. So that energy is lingering, and it's going to stay there until you deal with it. So my advice is just, you know, don't go into this relationship with blinders on. Don't go in with rose-colored glasses. Go in with the attitude that, yeah, I hope that person is aware of what situation you're leaving, whoever you're going towards, because you're inviting that same kind of energy into that person, and that's kind of an unfair balance. That's kind of an unfair approach, especially for somebody unknowing. So anyway, Cancer, I know this is pretty specific. I hope somebody got something from this. I'm not calling anybody a child. I'm not saying that. But I'm your friend, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, especially not for somebody who's not really considering somebody else as they enter into another relationship. That's just bullshit. Okay, straight up. That's what that is. So anyway, I love you. I hope you come back. I hope I didn't offend you so much that you're steaming anymore. But I wouldn't be surprised with this energy. So anyway. You guys have a great day, and I hope you come back to see me. All right, bye.